Hello, everybody. Stephen Pitters again here at the Post Falls Library, and I wish to thank the wonderful people here at the Post Falls Library to have me back to do another installment for April, which is Natural Poetry Month. So I'm doing these short versions. Let's just say episodes. Well, today I will be talking about some of the poems and reading about some of the poems, and also the musicians and visual artists and surprise other artists that have been a part of contributing to this particular book. And this one is called Contestant. And it came out in February of 2020, last year. And one of the things I mentioned is I like to collaborate with different musicians. And this is the first time I've worked with not only a visual artist, but I worked with a quilting organization, Mimi Sproles and the folks in the quilting group down in members of the Palouse Patchers Quilt Guild in Moscow. And also I worked with Teresa Brenestad, who did a pottery design piece, and also Mallory Batista, who did a visual art piece, and Art Jacobs, who did a visual art piece, and my good friend Henry Kicho Forrest, who did a musical interpretation of the poem In the Name of Equality. To let you know how this all came about, watching television, and there was a movie about the life of former Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I was so overwhelmed at what she had to go through trying to become a lawyer, and the issues of gender equality that she faced, all the resistance to women being involved in certain career fields, but she was a champion when it comes to gender equality. And seeing that movie, and you probably know which one I'm talking about, it was just outrageous. So I got very angry, and so I wrote this poem. And here's the book. And again, my youngest daughter did the cover for this book, and my good friend Mike DeCesare did the back covers. He does practically all the back covers to my books, which is great because he's a professional photographer for Pro Photo Northwest. All right. So here is the poem. Is called In the Name of Equality. Had the indifferent, callous attitudes of some males towards females and others not been so venomous and continued coasting, being perfectly content to do what they wanted, like a plague indulging its desires, the world would not have been comprehended, but relied on this insane message. A mountain built on sinful, generalized opinions whose effect would remain erect like the Eiffel Tower, steadfast for centuries yet to come, before being beaten into mush. After eons, the unfairness was undressed. Initially, there was resistance couched in bigotry, like the malicious parade of insidious, nefariously concocted, ingrained habits which gave advantage to the dapper urbane delegates who tried expanding their conceded comfort and power, nevertheless on the damaged, less unfortunate ones who absorbed these particular issues. I lusted for revision, alteration, diversity, innovation, before the charge of awareness spoke and removed the yoke. The forceful shouting arose, I am the change in this instant. I am the spade digging the hole through which life going forward testifies and evolves, thereby endearing myself to anyone, to the hope of everyone sooner or later. I am the bandage which will stop the departed blood killing its host. I am the new superhighway paved over the potted dirt road, whose vision carries us to the farther shore, where the desire for freedom's dreams are met. Already, I was so very tired at another point in time. Thereupon, I stood up to dispute its impact. Equality isn't only right, but necessary to defeat any gender's inevitable plight, the mother of justice said, shaking, bending the scales of a grieved time. And there it is, in the name of equality. Okay. One of the interesting things about writing, whether you write a book, a poem, well, probably I would say more in terms of a poem or probably music, is trying to get it right with one take, or it just comes. And I remember this particular piece. It was in the middle of the day, and I must have been, catching a quick nap, and I just woke up, and this idea came through my mind. It's kind of weird. In fact, I wrote my epitaph. So here it is, epitaph. When I die, I pray my sins forgive me and show the mercy God granted to those who walk this earth in joy and peril. So that is my epitaph. Wrote it in one sitting, boom, 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 and that was that. It was kind of scary to write one's epitaph, but hey, when you're on the road, you got to write, just in case. Okay, this particular one is slightly different because it's another reflective piece about mercy. And one of the things that I think is really important for us to always have mercy towards, other people. In God's mercy, the feeling fault seeks is to share its overweight load, which obscure the cost of what is at stake. Villainy cuts, the red currents ooze like talented capability, erasing her deep inspiration. Trottling the surface she attempted to maintain against all hazards. The cobblestones, unmoved, absorb the threats of menacing injustice, allowing dignity the advantage to curb the jeopardy with a proud of heavy, compassionate silence. Assisted by the arrival at a superior state of grace. We are what we accommodate as a mandate of faith that does not equivocate. Our hearts together is our home, they said, and to all we give welcome in God's mercy. So, in God's mercy. Okay. This next one, actually, again, it's earlier this year. I have another one of these inspirations. It just came to me, flash. And because I come from a Spanish background, Spanish was my first language. And so I just had an idea for a poem, and I said, well, I'm going to do this one in Spanish. So I've been actually writing a number of poems, about 10 of them, in Spanish with English interpretation. And so it's like 3 for the price of 1. One version of it is Spanish, English, Spanish, English. Each line is translated. and then another version is all Spanish, and then all English. So that is what I'm going to share with you today. A poem is called, the Spanish version of this poem is called La Tierra, the earth. And I'll read to you in Spanish, and then I'll read to you the English translation. Okay, here it is. Ahora estoy pensando de cualquiera cosa es importante o menor. Hoy es el día de mi nacimiento y todo está bien. El sol está visitando afuera. No me siento mal. Tengo solamente un poquito más de 60 años. Esa no es la verdad. Tengo 10 años más de eso. No sé cuántos más años voy a tener antes de morir. Pensando de esa cosa, hoy es muy feo. Es mejor, bueno, que yo no me castigo de esa manera. No soy un esclavo. La libertad del cuerpo y mente es más importante. Sufriendo es mierda. En nuestro mundo no debemos trabajar muy fuerte. Haciendo eso, todos vamos a mejorarnos y mejorarnos. Te veo después, mi hijo y hija. Mi tiempo no tiene más tiempo para pensar. Tengo que ir a ver al Señor, el Padre. Okay, so that's it in Spanish. Now here's the translation in English. The earth. Right now, I am thinking about whenever or whatever is major or minor. Today is my birthday, and all is well. The sun is visiting outside. I do not feel unwell. I am only a bit more than 60 years. That is not the truth. I must score more, 10 years beyond. I don't know how many more years I'm going to have before I die. Thinking about much and such things today is ugly. Better not to push myself in this way, in this manner. I am not a slave. The freedom of the body and mind is more important. Suffering is purely trash. In our world, we need not work this hard. Doing so will help ourselves. See you later, my son and daughter. My time has no more time to think. I must go and see the Father. And so that is it for today. And there's some music, I think, that you'll probably hear because the interpretation of the first poem, In the Name of Equality, there's an English, there's a musical translation, so you'll be able to get that as well. But let me say one thing. I'll be doing another reading in the near future, and all the songs that you hear, I have a site, and let me say this. This is a gift for those of you who tune in, and it's free. So if you have a SoundCloud app on your phone, just go to that app and go to poet Stephen Pitters, and you'll be able to download for free. There are 8 songs made from 8 poems, and they're all yours for free. So just to let you know, it's part of my effort to collaborate with other artists here. And again, thank the folks from Post Falls. I was about to say Spokane. Post Fall Library for providing me with this great opportunity to share some of my talent and the talents of other artists here in the area. So we'll see you again real soon. Thank you very much.
community's affairs by keeping